It's really great for me having a brother on the team. He helps me out with a lot of things, mentally, physically in the game. And it's really nice to be able to talk to someone after games on kind of, if you have a rough day on the mound or rough day at the plate, it's nice to have a second pair of eyes to kind of see what's going on.
Welcome to episode 384 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland, and happy opening weekend for the many baseball players around Alberta and Saskatchewan. We hope the weather is great and fun is had by all. Let's get into the news, shall we? And as always, we'll start in Major League Baseball, where Calgary's Michael Soroka was once again solid with the Arizona Diamondbacks in a start last Thursday against his old team, the Chicago White Sox. He allowed 1 run on 7 hits and a walk while striking out 6 in 5 innings of work. However, he didn't factor into the decision for the first time this season, as the White Sox scored 3 in the 9th to pick up a 4-1 victory. He's still 4-0 with a 2.60 ERA and 34 strikeouts in 5 starts. He's back on the bump this morning, being Thursday against the Milwaukee Brewers. Edmonton's Eric Zabrowski continues to pace the bigs in holds with 12, which is 4 more than the next closest. The Absolute Human Performance product made 3 more relief appearances this past week, including one against Toronto last Friday, where he allowed no runs, hits, or walks while striking out 1 in an inning of work. Matt Betts of the Canadian Baseball Network caught up with the lefty for a story that you can now read up on our website. And finally, Okotoks Dogs alum Tristan Peters has seemingly become an everyday player for the Chicago White Sox, as he's now appeared in almost every game over the past couple of weeks. He's brought his season average up to 273, and he's added a couple of RBI to his stat sheet over the past 7 days. In the minors, the talk of the town has easily been Eric Hartman. The St. Albert native and Dogs product went off with 3 homers in a game last Tuesday, and he's continued with 2 more dingers to go along with 4 RBI this past week, earning him Minor League Baseball Player of the Week and Canadian Baseball Network Minor League Player of the Week honors. He's hitting .289 on the campaign with 8 homers, 16 RBI, and 8 stolen bases in 21 games at High A Rome. It wasn't a combined no-hitter like his last outing, but Dogs product Matt Wilkinson is still shredding bats at AA Akron. Tugboat allowed 1 run on no hits and 2 walks while striking out 7 in 5+ last Friday as the Rubber Ducks fell 3-2 in extras to Chesapeake. He's 1-1 with a 1.45 ERA and 4 starts, striking out 24. In that same series, Calgary's Cohen Aiken made a pair of relief appearances for the Bay Sox. He allowed just 2 hits and 4 walks while striking out 3 in 3+ scoreless over those 2 outings. Aiken is 1-0 with a 1.17 ERA and 9 punch-outs in 5 games. Vauxhall Academy grad Adam Mako has had a bit of a rough and tumble last few outings with the AAA Buffalo Bisons. He's allowed 8 runs on 8 hits while striking out 11 in his last 5 appearances. Mako was 2-2 on the season with a 5.27 ERA and 17 strikeouts in 10 outings. And fellow Vauxhall grad Garrett Hawkins also got roughed up a bit with AAA El Paso over the past week. He's given up 6 runs in his last couple of outings. The bigger native is still 1-0 on the campaign with a 2.79 ERA, and he also has 8 strikeouts in 9 games. And some breaking news as I was putting this episode together and was about to schedule it. Lloydminster native and Dogs Academy grad Justin King is being promoted after going 1-0 with a 2.70 ERA and 18 strikeouts in 7 appearances with the AA Pensacola Blue Wahoos. The left-hander is heading to the AAA Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. We'll keep an eye on his performances in the days ahead and give you an update next week. Now back to what I had recorded earlier in the evening. Over to the college ranks we go, and we'll start in the CCBC, where things are starting to sort themselves out a little bit. Prairie Baseball Academy and Okanagan College are still tied in top spot with identical 18-6 records. Edmonton Collegiate is right behind them at 15-9, while the University of Calgary has the 6th and final playoff spot at the moment with a 10-14 mark. PBA had this past weekend off, while Edmonton took 3 of 4 from OC in some big scoring matchups, while the Dinos won 1 of 4 against UFV. This weekend, it's PBA at home to OC in what should be a stellar series. Elsewhere, Edmonton hosts UBC, and the Dinos welcome VIU. Down south, surprise, surprise, but Carter Clairhout has been named the Frontier Conference Player of the Week again as he hit 600 with 4 homers and 10 RBI in the final week of the Bellevue Bruins regular season. His final stat line on the campaign, 500 batting average. Yeah, you heard that right. 500 for the season with 23 homers and 66 RBI in 47 games. The Bruins' quest for the NAIA World Series begins with conference playdowns starting this weekend. Now, his Bellevue teammate Aiden Macris also put together a really solid campaign. The Dogs Academy alum hit .346 with 14 homers and 55 RBI in 43 games. Now, speaking of those two guys, both took home some conference hardware with the postseason awards announced late Wednesday night. Clairhout was named the Player of the Year as well as First Team All-Conference and Gold Glove. Macris also picked up First Team All-Conference and Gold Glove, as did Vauxhall Academy and Prairie Baseball Academy grad Nick Gravel. Meantime, Okotoks Dogs co-coach Mitch Big Bear Schmidt was named the conference's Assistant Coach of the Year. For the first time in program history, Cloud County Community College is the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference West Division champions. And one guy we haven't really checked on in a while but still had a great year is Simon Baker. The Cochrane native and Weber Academy alum was dynamite, posting a .413 average with 17 homers and 60 RBI in 46 games. The T-Birds are now getting ready for playoffs and the road to a JUCO World Series berth. A note we missed from this past couple of weeks has been Regina's Chance Tiskalchuk being named the Mondac Conference Player of the Week back on April 15th. He's having an incredible season, hitting .455 with 13 homers and 58 RBI in 40 games at Miles Community College. And staying in the Mondac, another great season being put together by Saskatoon's Jason Carbno. He's hitting .317 with 5 homers and 52 RBI in 53 games at Williston State. In fact, he's 4th in the conference in RBI. We know the postseason awards and recognitions are just getting started, so we'll do our best to keep you updated on all the big wins from this neck of the woods in the next couple of weeks. The Baseball Canada Junior National Team has wrapped up its extended spring training trip to Florida. Some great performances overall throughout the tournament by the Alberta and Saskatchewan products. They are now getting ready for the Dominican Pro Tour, which is set for May 11th to 21st. AHP Academy says one of their pitchers, Sam Davis, has been added to the roster for that trip. All eyes are now on the women's national team as they are in Puerto Rico for the World Cup qualifiers for a best-of-5 series against the hosts. The first game was supposed to be on Wednesday, but was rained out, so we'll see how the weekend shakes down for the team, which includes Albertans Cassie Matlock, Madison Willen, and Juliana Scott. A big tournament win for Going Yard's 15U team at the Best of the West Spring Classic last weekend as they knocked off Chilliwack 3-1 in the gold medal matchup. The Best of the West Premier Tournament is underway this weekend in Kamloops with Vauxhall and Okotoks in the 19U division. The Dogs also have a team in the 15U tournament, as does the Calgary Cardinals and the Bucks, and the 13U event has the Dogs, Cardinals, and the YQL Sluggers out of Lethbridge. He was a legend in Alberta's baseball scene and has now been inducted into the Okotoks Hall of Fame posthumously. Don Seaman, who is the principal donor and visionary for the Dogs, was among those honored earlier this week. Seaman passed away last year, so one of his daughters accepted the recognition. And lastly, the Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum's 7th annual Spring Fling is set for May 8th. It's a great way to support the Hall. Head to their Facebook page for all the details. When we come back, we have great conversations heading your way with Wyatt McKeen and Kaden Prosofsky. Then I'm back with another one of my patented monologues. This is Alberta Dugout Stories, a podcast. Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame legend and Dogs coach Matt Stairs is fired up for the road to Okotoks this summer.
It's something that you just live for, really, as a high school player. You know, the opportunity to come and have the top 16 teams throughout, again, from Newfoundland to British Columbia, to come in and having a chance to play in front of a ton of people and scouts and bragging rights. For me, that's the biggest thing. That's going to be the excitement.
The Road to Okotoks, July 14th to 19th. Get your tickets at theroadtookotoks.ca. Welcome back to the show, and we'll start this segment off in the CCBC and head west to chat with University of Fraser Valley Cascades utility man Wyatt McKeen. The Calgary native has been outstanding out of the bullpen this season, going 1-2 with a 1.97 ERA, striking out 23 batters in 7 games. His performance over 2 recent games against UBC and PBA, where he allowed just 1 run on 1 hit while striking out 10 in 4+, earned him the Cascades Pitcher of the Week honors. Here's our conversation with McKeen, who's also hitting .273 with an RBI in 11 at-bats, and he's also the brother of fellow Cascade, Eli. Wyatt, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
How was it coming back home for a few days this past weekend?
It was great. Yeah, great to see my family. Jeff's really good about letting people stay at home. It's just, really nice to be home.
I'm always curious about that. Like, when you get that opportunity to come back home during a college season or whatever, do you get to spend a few minutes with the fam? You spend in the night at the house? Like, walk me through how you're able to kind of enjoy the moment at home, at least for a few days.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically how it works for us guys is like, we'll tell our coach, Jeff, like a couple days before, like a week before, kind of what our plans are and if we plan at staying at home. He's pretty good. Like, if we let him know kind of what we want to do and what our plan is, like, he'll let us stay at home over the night and go see our families, because that's really important. Like, a lot of guys up here in Chilliwack, they live with their families. So if you live away, like, it's kind of tough to see your family all the time. So he's pretty lenient as far as, like, as long as you let him know what's going on, he'll let you go stay with your family.
That is awesome. When you're back at home, what are you making them, or what are you having them make you? Is it steak? Is it potatoes? Are you going out for a night on the town? Like, what's the personal fave when you do get that moment to come back home?
For me, it's more like I can just like sit at home in the living room with the family. Yeah, like the meals are great. Like, steak, crab, potatoes, that's all like really good. But having the opportunity to sit at home in the living room with your family and, watch shows and, pet your pets, like your dogs, and all that's like really important to me. It's just kind of how I was raised and, all that. So when I go home, it's like being able to spend time with family is huge for me.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff. I mean, not only that, you also got some big wins out here as well. What's the vibe in the clubhouse as we get closer to the end of the regular season here?
Absolutely. This weekend was huge. Playing a team like Calgary, you got to show up and compete. Getting 3 wins in 4 games is really good. I mean, we were looking to win the series always. Like, you're always looking to sweep, but, walking away with a series win going into May is really important. We got Golden Tide next weekend, so we're looking to win another series and maybe sweep. But yeah, like going into May, it's really important to get a few wins and get a few series wins. The vibes in the clubhouse right now are pretty good. We just got to find a way to minimize runs and win some ball games.
Well, you've certainly been doing your part. The numbers kind of speak for themselves when you look back at it so far. How happy are you with your performances so far this campaign?
Yeah, very happy. I mean, the older guys kind of set the tone in the fall and kind of paved the way for us younger guys. We got a younger team, and it's nice having your back. Have like the seniors got every freshman's back on the team. And it's just nice to know when you're up there, like you can go compete and they got your back. It's just it makes it a lot easier when you're pitching and when you're hitting to know that the guy behind you has your back. You can just kind of trust your stuff and go right after hitters, go right after pitchers. It's really nice to have.
What's been key to your success so far?
For pitching, it's going after hitters. You got to attack the zone really early. For the most part, like in this league, if you get ahead in the count on the mound, like you're going to be set. You got to attack the strike zone, got to limit walks and limit the free bases, and that's how you're going to be successful. At the plate, you got to hunt your pitch. Get your fastballs early, sit on a pitch. If you know what's coming, you got to get your swing off. And yeah, like that, as far as me, like that's kind of what's helped me in the process a little bit this year is going after hitters and at the plate, sitting on your pitch and getting your swing off.
As a guy who's relatively new to the league here as a freshman, are you surprised at how you've been able to be a bit of a steady hand, especially on the mound?
A little bit. Being a younger guy, like you kind of just have to have a level of compete in order to be successful. And as far as me, like grew up in a lot of I got two older brothers and an older sister. Like, you kind of learn that compete at home, and they all played sports. Like, you learn a level of compete with your family and growing up playing sports. So, I mean, coming to college is the same thing, right? Like, you just got to attack and be competitive, and good things will go your way.
What's been the biggest challenge for you going from high school ball to college?
Ooh, I would say that everyone here has a completely different level of compete. Everyone works their ass off because, I mean, playing isn't guaranteed, right? Like, high school, most guys play all the time, and most of the time, everyone was like a dude on their high school team. Here, like, everyone's good. You know, you got to find a way to be better than the guy you're playing against, and got to find a way to win. And I feel like for me, like, that's the toughest part, is you got to find a way to compete and beat the guy you're playing against. And in high school, it's like, you know, not everyone is like, playing time's kind of guaranteed in high school. Playing time's not guaranteed in college. And, you know, you got to find a way to work hard and compete and win.
Is that something that you learned from your big bro? And how cool is it to be able to maybe lean on him for some of those things as you get your feet wet in the CC?
Yeah, it's really great for me having a brother on the team. He helps me out, like, with a lot of things, mentally, physically in the game. And it's really nice to be able to talk to someone after games on kind of, you know, like, if you have a rough day on the mound or rough day at the plate, it's nice to have a second pair of eyes to kind of see what's going on. He's been really helpful, and it goes the same way with me. Like, you know, we kind of help each other out a bit, and it's really nice to have, especially being a freshman. Having an older brother there is it's really important.
How do you keep things rolling? What's the message maybe in the room as you guys get ready for the stretch drive here?
Be consistent. Like, we got to stack days. You know, keep working hard at practices, keep working hard in games, and everything will follow. We gotta compete, and in theory, everything should be fine. We keep stacking days of practice, keep working hard, and, you know, that'll put us in a really good spot come playoffs.
What would it mean to you to win a CCBC championship with UFE?
That'd be huge. Especially with my brother on the team. Like, you know, get him his second championship and get me my first. Get Jep his second championship. It'd be really nice. Like, you know, we got a young team, but to come out on top and to it'd be really nice for all the hard work to pay off and to walk away with something. At the end of the day, like, just got to work hard and we'll get there.
For sure. Let's get in your baseball past here a little bit. You're originally from Central Alberta. Give us the backstory. How'd you get into baseball in the first place?
I grew up in a small town in Rimbey, which is like, I don't know, 3 hours north of Calgary. And yeah, like, I think I was 8 years old when I first started playing, and, you know, just fell in love with the game.
Was it all baseball all the time, or were there other sports on the side?
You know, I first started playing out golf. That's what my oldest brother does now. But yeah, I started playing out golf, went to baseball, played a little bit of basketball, and, you know, really mixed in a lot of sports growing up. It's really important to be athletic.
Was there a moment in time where the switch kind of flipped for you, where you went, okay, this game's pretty cool, I want to chase that?
Yeah, I was it's about 12 or 13 where I was, like, really getting into baseball and devoted pretty much all my time to baseball. In the backyard, we'd throw live on live, we'd hit BP, we'd take ground balls, like, we'd do everything.
When you look back on the journey to this point, do you have a favorite memory or moment that really stands out to you where you had to take that step back and go, all right, that was pretty cool?
Yeah, there's definitely a few. I think, like, 13U provincials, winning the championship with my dad was really important. 15U AAA provincials, we beat a team that was undefeated in the finals to go to nationals. That was really huge for me. That's when, you know, kind of started playing outside of my hometown. It was a bit of an hour drive, and, you know, all the hard work paid off. And then another, like, really important memory was my grade 10 year. I played an entire high school season with my brother as well.
Oh, cool.
And that year was just that year was really fun. That was my first year in Calgary, and that year was just, I don't know, just kind of paved the way for me. It was really nice.
For sure. On the flip side, we all know baseball is a game of failure. What's the biggest challenge or hurdle that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, high school was tough. Hitting for me in high school wasn't fun. Every day was a grind. There were days where like you'd go, like at one point I was on like an 0 for 20 streak at the plate, like really hard, grinding it out every single day. And you come through the other side, looking back on it, like probably didn't need to put so much pressure on myself, but at the time, like that was one of the hardest things for me mentally, is overcoming the challenge of knowing that you're good enough to get hits, to beat the pitcher, to work hard. That was all really hard for me, being so young in high school, playing with a bunch of bigger, older guys. Like, it's just, that was probably one of the hardest things to do.
For sure. When you mentioned that it's not fun, I'm curious, how do you overcome that? Like, as a guy who's been through it, maybe for those young kids who are just listening in and going, oh man, like I'm having a tough go of it. What was sort of key in allowing you to get over that hump and to prevail on the winning end? Yeah,
I mean, looking back on it, if I had to give anyone any advice, it's just like keep working through it. Baseball is a game of failure. The best MLB hitters fail 7 out of 10 times, and they're in the Hall of Fame. Like you got to learn. You got to learn to live with your failure and be okay with the fact of failing. Failure is the best teacher in this game, and it'll help you learn kind of who you are as a player and how you'll come out the other side. My advice to any young player going through a hard time is just to keep working. And at the end of the day, this is just a game, right? Like it's a game that's meant to be fun. So if you're having fun while you're playing and you're playing relaxed, it'll be so much better than if you're trying way too hard to do a specific thing, whether that's throwing more strikes, hitting more, getting on base more. It's not going to happen if you're extremely hyper-focused on it. You got to have fun while you're in the moment and just keep working hard, and everything will be okay.
Covered off one of the questions I would usually have later on in the show, which is advice for those young kids. So fantastic stuff. A few fun ones here before we let you go. First off, you get to walk in as a closer to any song, or maybe you've got a walk-up tune when you're at the plate. What is that tune?
Ooh, for a closer, it's Hell's Bells by AC/DC.
Nice.
And, for a walk-up song, that's tough. Maybe like Hypnotized by Biggie.
You are on two totally opposite ends of the spectrum with those two. Like, that's amazing, the eclectic nature of your musical choices. I applaud thee for that. When you're at the ballpark as a fan, what is your go-to food?
Ooh. If I'm at an MLB stadium field, it's got to be a hot dog. Hot dogs are, they're just a staple. It's just good.
What's the condiment of choice?
It's got to be ketchup.
So it's not both. It's not mustard. You got to go straight ketchup, eh?
Yeah. If I'm choosing one, it's got to be ketchup. It's so versatile.
It's amazing how complex that question can be for so many people and controversial at the same time. So
Absolutely.
Awesome stuff. And finally, what's your go-to activity on the bus? You just came back from a 12-hour bus ride, 14 hours, because there's a couple of delays pitched in. Are you a guy who likes to be earbuds in? Are you a jokester? Are you a gamer? What's your go-to activity?
Ooh, when we're on the bus, I'm a big fan of Mafia. It's a pretty good team game. Like,
I've heard a bunch of guys a few playing. Guys saying that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if we're on break, like if we're stopping, hacky sack's really fun to play. Especially if you get a big group of guys. It's just fun.
Absolutely. Finally, the last question we ask everybody here on the show here, Wyatt. What does a game of baseball mean to you?
It means everything. This game's my whole life. It's been my whole life since I was like 8. This game's everything to me.
Well, it's meant a lot for us to be able to get to know a little bit about your journey and your family's journey as well, because it's been a crazy one, and we have no doubt that there's more still to come. Congratulations on all the success to this point, continued success at UFE and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Next up, we have Barrie's Academy alum and Saskatoon native Kaden Prosofsky. He's having a monster freshman season at College of the Desert. It didn't start well as he was on the bench, but he kept plugging away and earned a starter's role in the outfield. He's now hitting .406 with 4 homers, 36 RBI, and 8 stolen bases in 31 games. He was named an all-conference first-team member for his efforts earlier this week, and with the regular season winding down, his eyes are now on helping the Roadrunners to the JUCO World Series. Kaden, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
The numbers kind of speak for themselves. How are you feeling about the year you've had so far?
I thought it was a really good year. Our whole team produced, and yeah, it was just a great year as a team.
As a freshman, how happy are you that you've been able to have an impact so early on?
Yeah, for sure. I came in here, obviously I wanted to make an impact, and that's what I told the coaches, and yeah, I just waited for my chance, and when I got it, I just never looked back there.
Was there a bit of a weight in your eyes? Was it sort of one of those things that the stars had to align? What was it that maybe became the turning point for you where you're able to become a regular part of that lineup?
Yeah, at the start, I wasn't starting. I just get pinch hits here and there, and then once I just kept getting on base and getting my hits, and then it just kind of, people got hurt, people slowed down, and then I just got in that spot and never looked back.
Speaking of, what's been key to that success? What's been the focus maybe in your approach that's allowed you to put up the numbers that you have?
I've always just tried to be aggressive, and I'm a guy that swings in early counts and tries to do damage early. And then, yeah, just always staying aggressive.
Mm-hmm. When you look at it, what's been the biggest challenge maybe that you've had going from high school to college ball?
I think it's just a different atmosphere a little bit, and everyone's there to have the same goal as in high school. Some guys are just there to have fun, but everyone's here to win, and it's super competitive here. Like, even just to get a spot on your own team, it's just everyone's competitive and everyone's trying to win and move up to the next level, especially at JUCO.
Mm-hmm. When you look back that first couple of months of the season there, did you have any goals or expectations of yourself going into the year?
Honestly, yeah. I just wanted to get in there because I knew at the start of the season I was kind of like, not down, but I wasn't in a lineup every day. So I'm just like, every chance I get, I'm going to make the most of my opportunities. And then I just kept making the most. And then it turned into this awesome season, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of awesome season, the team's also not doing too bad in the standings department as well. Things seem to be going pretty well. But what are the vibes like in that clubhouse right now?
Oh, we're super, super up and super. We started our first week of practice because we got playoffs. First week of practice before playoffs this week, and it's been like up tempo, and we all know what we want to do, and we need one more win to break the all-time school record. So that's definitely in our eyesights right now too. And then just to go out and win this, go for a deep playoff run.
Absolutely. Speaking of, how do you keep this train rolling, so to speak? What do you got to do to make sure that you're not just putting up one more win, but taking a bigger, longer run here?
Yeah, for sure. We all just got to keep and just do our job. It's play with ball, so it's going to be a little bit different of an atmosphere, more small ball, more. We just got to be just on our toes, and we're going to be facing better teams. And yeah, we just got to stay focused and make sure we do our jobs and our assignments.
Mm-hmm. What would it mean to you to bring home a JUCO World Series?
It would be pretty sweet. Yeah. No, that's definitely our goal right now.
For sure. Let's get into your baseball past here a little bit, Kaden. You're originally from Saskatoon. How'd you get in the game in the first place?
My dad always played, so I think it was when I was younger. I started when I was 3 or 4. Yeah, so I just got in there playing T-ball. My dad was always my coach growing up too, so it was fun.
Never hurts to have a guy like that helping you out around the diamond for sure. Was it all baseball all the time growing up, or did you play other sports?
No, I was a hockey player too. So yeah, I started hockey and baseball around the same time, and then I played hockey all the way up till last winter, actually.
What made you decide to make the change? What was it that made you go, hey, baseball's the one I want to chase?
I always had more fun out in the sun too. So that probably is just one. But I just think it was probably around when I was 15. I started realizing that I'm having more fun with baseball and I'm a little bit better, I'd say. But still, hockey was always my first love too. So I stayed with that and had fun with that. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was it tough making that choice? I mean, we're Canadians, right? Like a lot of people go, oh, you're going to pick hockey 100 times out of 100. Here you are blazing a different path.
No, yeah, for sure. Because my dad he played hockey his whole life and that's what he did. So it was a hard choice, but I think it was the right one. I had to come to a choice eventually. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now you've had the opportunity as well to do some pretty cool things during your baseball journey, including represent Saskatchewan. What did that mean to you to be able to put on the green and gold?
No, that's super, super meaningful because that's always something I wanted to do when I was growing up. Like, we never got it when we had a 13U because of COVID. So then just 15U, I had a good season. And then that first year was super fun too when we won bronze and all the buddies were super close on the team, and it just means a lot to represent that as one of the best players in Saskatchewan. Yeah,
for sure. Aside from that, any favorite memories or moments on the field that stand out to you that made you go, man, I can't believe I get to do this?
Honestly, it was probably in the Canada Cup when we beat out Ontario, because we always had those really good games against Ontario, and beating them out in the quarters was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I can only imagine. On the flip side, baseball is a game of failure. What's that big hurdle, that big obstacle that you've been able to overcome that you're like super proud of yourself for being able to get past it?
Honestly, I feel like it's just I've been working on my mental game a lot, and just how that has helped me influence and like not trying to drag past ABs into the present ones and just taking everything like one pitch at a time.
Obviously talk about the future as well here for a second. You obviously in a JUCO, you got bigger goals, bigger aspirations. What are you looking for in a school and in a program as you think about the future?
Well, my goals are obviously to go D1 and make an impact at the D1 level, but still get my name out there and working on the recruiting side. So I'm just definitely waiting to see how that shapes along, but I'm excited to see what it has in store for me in the future.
When it comes to being a student athlete, it's called student athlete for a reason. The student comes first. What are you taking and what do you got in mind maybe if you go up to a D1 school?
Right now I'm in business administration, and then if I get up to that D1 school, I think I'm going to maybe go into finance or just stay on the business side there.
Very cool. You also have a summer planned as well. How excited are you head to Kelowna to play some summer ball?
Yes, Kelowna is going to be super fun with lots of D1 guys on our team too, so it'll be super good to learn from them and compete with them. And then coach as well, played 16 years in the major leagues, so it'd be cool to pick someone's brain like that too.
Mm-hmm. A few fun ones before we let you go. First off, what's your go-to snack food?
Oh, go-to snack. I'd say I'm a chocolate guy, so probably like a chocolate bar or a Snickers bar, or just like some peanuts, something like that.
Fantastic. What's your walk-up tune?
We actually didn't have walk-up tunes, but last year it was Sorry for Party Rockin'.
Very nice, very nice. And finally, who's your baseball idol? Who's the guy that you had a poster up on the wall, or maybe you made a point of having to watch whenever you possibly could?
Oh, definitely. When I was younger, it was definitely Josh Donaldson, just because of Blue Jays fan. But I'd say recently, probably Corbin Carroll.
A couple of great ones for sure. Two more before we let you go here, Kaden. They're the ones we ask everybody here on the show. For those young kids who are just starting out on their baseball journeys and they want to get to where you're at now, what's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you'd love to impart upon them?
I'd honestly just say, just have fun and don't take it like super serious. Don't get down on yourself, because it is a game of failure, but it's also a kid's game and it's meant to be fun playing it.
Absolutely is. And finally, what does the game of baseball mean to you?
It means a lot. It's been part of my life, like my whole life, and I just want to keep playing it for as long as I can and make lots of good memories and meet lots of new people. That's that's my goal in life.
Well, we can't wait to keep watching you and your journey unfold as it has so far, Kaden. Again, congratulations on all the success you've had to this point. Continued success as you finish out the college season down at the desert and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you.
When we come back, I have a few thoughts on the opportunity baseball has heading into the opening weekend for many grassroots ball players. This is Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. Jump.ca is your SaskTel authorized dealer and a proud supporter of Saskatchewan Dugout Stories. Jump.ca has all your bases covered with SaskTel wireless, internet, TV, and home security services. Bring it all together at one of their 18 Jump.ca stores across Saskatchewan. Jump.ca, your SaskTel authorized dealer. It promises to be a celebration of baseball like no other. The Canadian Grand Slam of Baseball Showcase and Festival hits Lethbridge May 21st to 31st. The CCBC World Series, the Road to Okotoks qualifier, the Bulls opening weekend, and much more. Head to bullsbaseball.com for all the details. Welcome back to the show. Now, if you subscribe to the Dugout Stories monthly newsletter, you may know what's about to hit you. I'll also say this will be coming up in an opinion piece on our websites in the not-too-distant future. But with the baseball season officially getting underway this weekend on a number of fronts at the grassroots level, I thought I'd wade into what I think is a massive opportunity. And a bit of a trigger warning before I begin. If you got to hit pause, that's okay. This could get a little political depending on how you take this. Okay? We good? Ready? Here we go. Now, I know we should be sticking to sports, and that's where we are going, but there are two things that are kind of lingering over all of us right now: the geopolitical climate and the economy. This is the time of year where families start talking about what they want to do this summer. In past years, that might have included a trip to the U.S. to watch some baseball, as an example. Well, like it or not, some families are thinking twice about it, especially with the price of gas the way it is. I don't know if you noticed around the Calgary area, it went up about 30 cents overnight, and affordability simply being really out of whack. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you fall or who you blame for the economy. Those are just the cold, hard facts. So with that in mind, I think teams in the Western Canadian Baseball League, the West Coast League, and frankly any league or any sport across Canada right now should be focusing on getting the word out about what they have to offer, aka affordable family entertainment right in their own backyards. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The Blue Jays bump, coupled with Canada's success at the World Baseball Classic, has baseball on the top of a lot of minds right now. So why not go out of your way to promote yourself even more in your community and around your region? Now, you don't have to outwardly say staying in Canada this summer, as an example, but you should be exploring any avenue you can about getting in front of as many eyeballs and potentially wallets as possible. From a business standpoint, I don't know if you know this, but more eyeballs means more butts in the seats, which equals more sponsorship opportunities, as an example, with potential partners wanting in on that action. And it's why we're applauding the efforts being taken in Lethbridge to get behind the upcoming Canadian Grand Slam of Baseball. The Bulls have joined forces with the City of Lethbridge, Tourism Lethbridge, and the Lethbridge Sport Council on a citywide campaign called Lethbridge, Baseball's Home. Every market has some level of collaboration with municipal and tourism partners, so why not try to double down on that? Because what's good for baseball will be good for the local economy during the summer, especially as more fans think about staycations or even just planning their summer nights, to be honest. As I said in the newsletter, and I'll say it in the upcoming editorial, summer is right around the corner and everyone is game planning. We know we are. And by the way, if you haven't already, head to albertadugoutstories.com. There's a little pop-up that shows up. Enter your email into that pop-up and you'll get that newsletter every month. It's called Dugout Stories Monthly. It's got all kinds of stuff, including the highlights from the past month, plus some exclusive content just like that. Thanks again to Wyatt McKeen and Kaden Prosofsky for joining us this week, and thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. As we head into May, just a heads up that it's going to get very busy. the CCBC World Series, WCBL opening weekend, the Road to Okotoks qualifiers, much more is on tap. So you'll want to subscribe, as we are very likely to have bonus episodes coming out throughout the month. A tip of the cap, as always, to our platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League. Their generosity helps us cover costs like web hosting fees, online newspaper subscriptions, and really handy this time of year, travel. If you'd like to join our roster of teammates, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.